Let's start with something a lot of men don't want to hear, but need to. If a woman leaves you once, she's already shown you how easily she can walk away. That alone should make you stop and think before letting her right back in like nothing happened. Now, I'm not saying every woman who comes back is playing games or that you should slam the door in her face. But I am saying this: if you don't handle that moment like a man, with clarity, control, and calm, you're going to hand over all your power. And once that's gone, trust me, so is her attraction for you. Here's the truth a lot of women won't tell you. When we come back after leaving, part of us is testing who you are now. We want to see what kind of man you've become. Are you stronger, more self-assured? Or are you still waiting around, hoping we'll give you another shot? We may not admit it out loud, but we feel it. And we respond to it. This is where Stoicism becomes powerful. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about showing her, without saying a word, that your world didn't fall apart just because she wasn't in it. That your sense of self isn't dependent on her approval, her presence, or her decisions. Because when a woman sees that you've evolved without her, she either respects you more or realizes she can't control you like before. And either way, you win. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to handle it from a woman's point of view. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just what it actually means when we come back, and how to respond in a way that keeps your power, your pride, and your peace. Let's get into it. 1. She's not back because she misses you. She's checking your status. Here's something a lot of men get wrong right off the bat. When a woman comes back after leaving you, it's not always because she misses you. It's because she's curious about you. She wants to know, did you move on? Did you level up? Are you still waiting for her? It's not necessarily malicious. Women are emotional and intuitive. We follow our feelings more than logic sometimes. And when a woman leaves a man, there's often a part of her that's unsure. She might have felt like she could do better, or she didn't feel fully seen or valued. Or maybe she was just chasing excitement. But when she comes back, what she's really doing is checking your status. And I don't mean your bank account or follow account. I mean your emotional status, your life status, your self-respect status. She's asking, is he still the same guy I walked away from? Or did losing me wake something up in him? That's the test, and most men fail it. Because the second she texts, "Hey stranger," or watches your Instagram story, or sends a random voice note, you jump, you light up, you feel like you've won. But she hasn't given you anything yet. She's just checking the scoreboard. She wants to see if you're still stuck in the last chapter while she flipped ahead. If you respond with too much emotion, if you sound relieved, eager, or even just available, she immediately feels like, okay, he hasn't changed. And even if she does come back into your life, the dynamic is already imbalanced again. You're chasing. She's choosing. But if you hold steady, if your response is calm, neutral, mature, she starts to feel something different. She realizes you've grown, that you're no longer living in reaction to her, that maybe she underestimated you. That's when you become attractive again. Women don't fall for men who sit still. We fall for men who move forward. So when she comes back, remember, it's not a compliment. It's not closure. It's a checkpoint, and how you respond tells her everything she needs to know about whether or not you're still that same guy she walked away from. 2. Don't ask her why she left. It makes you look weak. Let me be really honest with you here. If a woman comes back, and the first thing out of your mouth is, "Why did you leave me?" she instantly loses respect for you. I know that sounds harsh, but here's why. When you ask that question, what you're really doing is putting her on a pedestal. You're making her the judge, the authority, the one who gets to explain herself while you wait for permission to feel okay again. You're saying, your reasons matter more than my boundaries. And whether you realize it or not, you're chasing emotionally. The truth is, women often don't even fully know why they leave. It could be a wave of feelings, a moment of doubt, some external influence, or a temporary dissatisfaction that never got processed properly. Sometimes it's not even personal. She was just in a phase of self-sabotage or escapism. But when you ask her why she left, you're hoping for a clean, logical answer that justifies your pain. And that's not how women operate. We're not robots. We're emotional. We make decisions in the moment that don't always make sense later, even to us. So when a man tries to dig for the reason, it feels weak. It feels like you're trying to solve a puzzle that no longer matters. Instead of just standing in your strength and saying, "You left. I moved forward." Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about what happened. You should reflect. You should learn. You should grow. But all of that is internal. That's your private journey. Not something you hand over to her like, "Please give me closure so I can heal." Closure doesn't come from the woman. It comes from you. What makes a man attractive after a woman leaves him and then comes back is his ability to not need her validation anymore. He doesn't need her explanation. He doesn't ask her to make him feel better. He's already made peace with it. That doesn't mean you ignore her or act cold. It means you stay grounded, calm. You talk like a man who's been through fire and came out stronger, not like a boy still trying to understand what went wrong. Trust me, the moment a woman sees that you're not chasing answers, that you're not looking for a redo of the past, that you're not seeking her approval, she feels it. She feels your shift, and that's when the power dynamic changes. Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped giving it away. 3. Her return isn't always about you. It's about her. This is one of the biggest truths most men miss when a woman comes back after leaving. Her return isn't always about you. In fact, many times it's not. It's about her, and if you don't understand that, if you instantly assume she came back because she suddenly realized you're amazing or because she regrets everything she did, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Let me give it to you straight. Women come back for all kinds of reasons. Some are emotional, some are selfish, some are confusing, even to us. She might come back because she's lonely, because the guy she left you for turned out to be a loser, because her friends are all getting married and she's panicking, because she wants comfort, familiarity, validation, because life hit her hard and you feel like a safe space. It's not always love. It's not always clarity. It's not always a sign that she finally sees your worth. Sometimes it's just about how she's feeling, not about what you mean to her. Now that doesn't mean her return can't lead to something real. It's possible she's had real growth. People do change. Women evolve. But that's not something you take at face value. That's something you observe. You watch her actions. You pay attention to her consistency. You look at how she treats you, not just what she says when she wants back in. The mistake a lot of men make is assuming that if a woman returns, she must want something serious, or that she's come to her senses. And that mindset puts you right back in a weak, reactive position. You're no longer evaluating her. You're waiting for her to choose you again. But the truth is, if you're practicing Stoicism, if you're grounded, self-respecting, and clear on your value, you won't even be thinking about what she wants. You'll be focused on what you want. Is she the woman you'd still choose today? Has she grown, or just circled back out of convenience? Are you even emotionally available, or just flattered? These are the questions a strong, grounded man asks, and here's the deeper truth. When a woman realizes you're not just going to fall back into her arms, that she's going to have to earn her place in your life again, that's when attraction truly rebuilds. So don't make it about her words. Don't cling to the fantasy that she came back for some fairy tale reason. Stay clear, stay calm, and see her return for what it really is. An opportunity to evaluate if she still deserves a seat at your table. 4. The power of silence. Why you don't need to react right away. Let me tell you something most women won't admit, especially not out loud. When we come back after walking away, we're watching how you respond. We're testing the waters, and we're paying very close attention to your energy. Now, here's what most guys do. The moment they get that "Hey stranger" text or the random check-in call, they jump. They reply instantly. They ask how we've been. They bring up the past. They express how much they missed us. And boom, we already know we still have them. You know what that does. It kills the mystery. It confirms you've been emotionally waiting for us. And in most cases, it makes us feel powerful, not necessarily attracted. See, women are emotional creatures, yes, but we're also deeply responsive. And when a man immediately shows us he hasn't moved on, hasn't grown, and is ready to resume where we left off, without even making us earn it, we lose respect, even if we don't say it. This is where Stoicism comes in. Real Stoicism is not about playing games or pretending you don't care. It's about choosing not to react emotionally, and instead, staying grounded in your peace, your purpose, and your power. That means when she texts you out of the blue, you don't rush to respond. When she checks in with a subtle breadcrumb, you don't take the bait. You pause, you breathe, you evaluate. Because here's the thing, you don't owe her a reaction. You don't owe her instant access. And you definitely don't owe her your heart on a silver platter just because she decided to pop back in. Silence is powerful. And when used correctly, it shows a woman that you're no longer sitting in the same place she left you. It shows that you have moved forward, with or without her. And I promise you, that hits different. That makes a woman rethink everything. When she doesn't get the reaction she expects, it forces her to reflect, to wonder, to question. Wait, does he still care? Did he actually move on? Was he serious when he said he had standards? That's when the dynamic shifts. That's when you're no longer just waiting to be chosen. You're the one doing the choosing. And here's the beautiful part. If she's serious, if she really came back with intention and growth, your calm and silence will draw that out of her. She'll make the effort. She'll show consistency. She'll give you clarity. But if she was just looking for comfort, ego boosts, or validation, your silence will make her disappear again. And that's a win too. So don't rush, don't react. Your power is in your stillness. Let your silence speak for you. It says more than any text ever could. 5. The power of silence. Why you don't need to react right away. Let's slow this down for a second, because when a woman comes back after leaving you, the first thing you need to understand is what that return actually means. And just as importantly, what it doesn't mean. See, as women, we're not always logical when we make contact again. Sometimes it's because we've reflected. Sometimes it's because we've grown. But other times, it's because we're lonely, or bored, or we saw something on your social media that made us feel something, or maybe the guy we chose over you didn't work out the way we thought he would. Let me tell you how this really plays out. She left. Maybe she had her reasons. Maybe she didn't explain them clearly. But she made that choice. And for a while, you didn't hear from her. You were hurt, confused. Maybe you begged at first, or maybe you went quiet. But either way, time passed. Now, out of nowhere, she's back. Maybe with a casual, "Hey," maybe with an emotional message, maybe with a full apology and a wish to reconnect. And in your mind, this feels big, like a second chance. But I'm going to say something that might surprise you. Her coming back doesn't automatically mean she values you. It might. But that depends on one thing. what she does next. Women come back for many reasons, but one thing is always true. If a woman genuinely regrets losing you, she won't just reach out. She'll take consistent action. She'll respect your boundaries. She'll be patient. She'll try to earn your trust again. She'll show effort, not just emotion, but if she's coming back for comfort, attention, or control, you'll feel that too. You'll sense that the conversation is shallow, that it's all about her, that she's fishing for reassurance, not reconciliation. And here's what I want you to hear clearly. You do not owe her your emotional availability just because she reached out. You have to ask yourself, did she leave with integrity or cruelty? Has she taken responsibility for the way she left? Is she reaching out with genuine remorse? Or just to see if you're still an option? As women, we know when we've messed up. And if we truly value a man, we won't come back casually. We'll come back with humility, with clarity, with emotional maturity. So don't romanticize the return. Don't assume it means she sees your worth now. Watch her actions, not her words. Pay attention to the consistency, not just the apology. Because the truth is, a lot of women come back. But not every woman who returns deserves a second chance. 6. Why your reaction determines everything. Let's be real. When a woman comes back after she left you, the most important part isn't what she says. It's how you respond. That's what sets the tone. That's what reveals your growth. And that's what tells her exactly what kind of man she's dealing with now. Here's the truth. Most guys don't want to admit. Your reaction shows her whether she still has emotional power over you or not. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be cold or dismissive. Stoicism isn't about shutting off your feelings or pretending you don't care. It's about staying grounded in your values, no matter what someone else does. When a woman comes back, most men either overreact with excitement. Finally, she realized I'm the one. Or they lash out in resentment. Oh, now you want me back? Both responses show a lack of emotional control, and both make her feel like she still owns the frame. But when you stay calm, when you stay composed, honest, and measured, that's when the dynamic shifts. That's when she sees the difference. Women notice everything. We notice if you're quick to drop your guard. We notice if you're eager to relive the past like nothing happened. And we notice if you've become the kind of man who no longer chases, no longer begs, and no longer needs her to feel whole. And guess what? That's attractive. We may not always say it, but deep down, women respect men who don't get emotionally rattled by our mixed signals. We respect men who can listen, respond with clarity, and not take the bait. Because sometimes, yes, our return is a test. So here's what your reaction should include. A pause. Don't rush to reply. Take your time. Let her wonder for a bit. Directness. If you're open to talking, say it. If not, say that too, clearly and kindly. Boundaries. You're not picking up where things left off. You're starting from right now, and that means trust and effort have to be rebuilt. Self-control. Don't unload everything you've been feeling. Don't demand answers right away. Let her reveal her intentions through consistent behavior. Stoicism is about leading with principle, not emotion. It's about knowing who you are, regardless of who left or who came back. When a woman sees that in you, truly sees it, she'll either level up to meet you or walk away again. And if she walks away again, that's okay. Because you didn't flinch. You didn't chase. You stayed solid. And that, my friend, is how a man with real value moves. Not out of hope, not out of fear, but out of strength. 7. If you let her walk back in too easily, she'll walk out again. All right, this part might sting a little. But if you really want the truth, here it is. If you let a woman come back too easily, you're teaching her that leaving you has no consequences. And trust me, she will remember that. Look, I'm not saying you have to punish her or hold a grudge or play games. That's not masculine. That's petty. But if she walked away from you once, if she ended things, ghosted, disappeared, or left you in pieces, and you just swing the door wide open the moment she returns, what you're saying without words is, my standards disappear the second you give me attention again. That's not love. That's desperation. And women can feel that energy. Even if she acts happy to be back, deep down, she's paying attention. She's watching how fast you fold. She's watching how easily you give up your power. She's watching if she can do it again, because some women will, not out of cruelty, but out of curiosity. Can I come and go as I please? Is his door always open, no matter how I treat him? Does he really value himself, or does he just value me more than him? That's the part most men miss. When she returns, it's not just about her missing you. It's about you showing her that your standards didn't vanish just because she did. This is where a lot of men fail themselves. They think, if I act too cold, she'll leave again. But the truth is, if you don't act like a man who knows his worth, she's already halfway out the door. Because no woman wants to be with a man who folds the second she snaps her fingers. She wants a man who makes her earn it, who respects himself so deeply, he wouldn't let anyone, not even her, bypass the effort, the trust, or the growth that's required to come back into his life. So here's your wake-up call. Stop rewarding bad behavior. Stop giving out forgiveness like it's free. Stop assuming her return means she's ready to do better. It might. But if it does, she'll prove it. Over time, with actions, with consistency, with humility. And you, as a man, need to hold that line. Let her show up, but don't roll over. Let her speak, but don't forget how she made you feel. Let her try again, but don't lower your standards to make it easier. A woman can only respect a man she sees as solid, centered, and hard to win back when she knows she's the one who broke it. So if she wants another chance, let her earn it. Because if she doesn't, she'll leave again the second it's convenient. And this time, you'll know it's not about her. It's about what you allowed. She left. Now you decide what comes next. I say this with love. A woman leaving you once changes everything. What you do when she comes back, that defines you. It's easy to think, well, she's back, so maybe she really does love me. But love isn't just about feelings. It's about choices, behavior, and respect. And if she walked away once, there was a reason. If she returns, there needs to be a new reason. One that's earned, not assumed. You are not a pit stop. You're not her fallback plan. You're not just a man who's there when she's ready. You are the foundation. You are the standard. You are the one who decides if she gets a second chance. But to do that, you have to let go of needing her validation. You have to see yourself as valuable, even without her in your life. So ask yourself honestly, if she came back today, would you take her back out of strength or weakness? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to hear your story. I want to know what you've learned when a woman came back after walking away. I'll be reading every comment. And yes, I'll be replying too. Because you deserve real insight. You deserve truth. And you deserve a woman who values you the first time, not just when it's convenient for her. So stand tall. Stay centered. And remember, she's not the test. You are the standard.